Welcome back, guys. This is the Can't Lose Show, and I'm your host, Trent.
It's your boy Josh.
Guys, it may look a little different. We all got our own lives, we got work to do. So we had to
Yeah.
do this one over Zoom. So bear with us. I hope we're going to give you guys the best content possible and quality possible out of this format. It's our first time doing it in season two. I think our first time ever
Well,
on Zoom, correct?
there's plenty. Yeah, I think so. But there's plenty of one time we did it over the phone, but yeah, I don't think we did Zoom. We must have done audio only that week, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if we had video yet.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know, but it's the first time we've done it over Zoom, but plenty of duos and podcasts out there that make it work.
Yeah, so let's jump into what we learned from week 8, Josh. Since we're on the horizon of week 9, let's look back at week 8. What's one
Let's
thing you
do it.
learned?
One thing that I didn't learn this, but I think a lot of people learned, and I think Lamar Jackson put the NFL on notice again. His receivers were catching the ball and making plays and helping him out finally. And we saw what happened. I mean, they walked down and marched down the field over and over again against what we just said that previous week, a top five defense, a top five offense, and a top five team, the
Yeah.
Lions. So that was crazy.
Yeah, that was an ass whipping and a statement for sure.
Yeah. I mean, 357 yards for three touchdowns. And I don't know if that's including
Tw-
his rushing touchdown he had too.
yeah, and 21 for 27. Like, bro.
Don't sleep on him. My fucking sleeper pick for MVP. Not so
y-
much of a sleeper. I mean, he was never that much of a sleeper, but people love to hate on him. They love to call him a running back. But he just
Yeah.
continues to like prove people wrong. And now he's got some weapons and they're catching the ball. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah. One thing that I got, well, it's not that I learned, but we definitely got reminded on any given day, any given team can win. So you have some games this past weekend. I'll just name a few. Pats over Bills. No one expected that.
Yeah.
You had the Giants over the Commanders. I know the Giants are supposed to be a better team on paper, but lately they've been playing like shit. So that was a unexpected one. Ravens over the Lions. I know the Ravens are the real deal, but the Lions just had so much hype, and that one was like a any given day type deal.
Yeah. Getting
Um,
held to 6 points. That was
yeah,
crazy.
Bears over the Raiders. The Raiders aren't the best, but the Bears are the Bears this year. And so like you're
And they had a D2 quarterback.
exactly. Hey, shout out to him, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a cool story right there. And then to end the week, you had the Vikings over the Niners. We'll get into that later. Don't wanna get too far into that one, but it's
Yeah.
just any given day, any given team.
It's kind of what we were reminded this week more than what we learned this week. Lamar Jackson kind of reminded everyone that he's still an MVP,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
we were reminded that it's always any given Sunday.
Yeah. But for sure, one thing we learned is some teams are going to be sellers and some teams are going to be buyers at the trade deadline. Um,
Yeah.
you got a couple guys that you're looking after for this week, or not this week, but as the
Uh,
deadline comes up, that you think are going to be traded away, maybe
see,
for picks for players. What you got?
I don't know too much about cap space and everything and where everyone's at with that necessarily. But
The
if I'm
49ers have the
just,
second most.
yeah, I know that. But if I just had to go off like where teams are at right now with their record and their record, like if they're gonna make the playoffs and some of their weaknesses, I think
Yeah,
the Ravens are probably gonna try and go in right now and upgrade at some positions. I'm thinking the Titans are obviously they just traded away Kevin Byard and all-pro safety to the Eagles. And
yeah,
so maybe they're looking to rebuild right now, get some picks. And I think Derrick Henry, one of the highest paid guys on the team, has to be one of the pieces they're looking at right now. Running backs are not the hottest on the market, so they're
hmm
probably looking to give him away. And the Ravens could use Derrick Henry in that backfield to help out Lamar Jackson.
I completely agree with the fact that the Ravens are going to be shopping for a running back.
Yeah, they
I
have to.
think I think the running back from my opinion is going to come from the Jets and Dalvin Cook. A little bit of a
Oh,
cheaper option.
yeah,
He's not getting used in New York like he should. And that's all credit to Brees Hall. I mean, he's a dog. He's the running back one. So due to the lack of support role that he has over there, I could see him being traded um over to the Baltimore Ravens. But I don't think the Jets are sellers. I think that's just gonna kind of balance out the team. They'll be buyers too if they're hoping Aaron Rodgers is gonna
Yeah.
make a comeback.
Yeah, they got some other running backs too in the market. I mean, on their in their backfield. But
Yeah.
so if you think, do you think Derrick Henry's still on the trade market? Is he on the trading block?
Yeah, I think their rebuild's gonna take some time, and I don't think Derrick Henry's gonna want to sit around for that. Honestly, I don't know their money situation, but just talent wise, they're a couple years away from being ready. Just looking at their roster overall right now, how they're playing, I think.
Where?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh,
I think that like their quarterback situation's not figured out for sure,
uh,
um, which is a huge thing. And we'll
yeah.
see how Will Levis does this week. He's scheduled to start, but if they missed on him too, like they're at least another draft away. They better be terrible and go get Caleb Williams, Drake May, Sam Howell, like or not Sam Howell, but Drake May or Caleb Williams.
Yeah. So where do you see Derrick Henry going? Where's a good landing spot for him? If it's not the Ravens.
Um, Honestly, if they really wanted to make like a huge push, is KC or the Eagles. I mean, those are two front runners. I have no idea the money situation behind it, but they it would be an upgrade for either of them. I'm not saying anything bad against their current running backs, but it's Derrick Henry.
It's
And
Derrick Henry, you're right, but damn, I don't know. Pacheco and Swift are not bad.
they're not
But
bad,
I mean,
but
when you pair him up with Derrick Henry,
yeah, you have an end zone a red zone threat right there, like insane. I mean, if they're trying to make a full out push, I mean, you could even argue for the Niners, right? I mean, we have CMC, but Derrick Henry's just a different type of running back than all three of those guys, you know?
yeah, for sure.
Um, who else do you have on your trade watch?
I got a couple guys. I think the Ravens are probably looking at some DBs too. I could see Pat Surtain landing there.
Okay.
I don't. I think they're in the market for some players for sure. But another guy, Brian Burns, dude, on the Panthers. I mean, everyone's always looking for that next pass rusher, elite pass rusher, and the Panthers are not there. Brian Burns, I think he's going to go somewhere. What do you think is a good landing spot?
I actually don't think a landing spot's out there for him.
No?
If they have trust in Bryce Young and they're building around Bryce Young now, it's going to be hard for me to see the Panthers as a selling team because it's going to be like, yeah, their
Mm,
season might be over in a sense of making the playoffs,
but
but
he's
they're
a
really
cornerstone.
not over because they're preparing for next season and keeping those key guys around is going to be crucial for them.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah,
Hey,
they
can you
could.
hear
They
me?
did get Bryce Young. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on, hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry. My computer was twitching and I was like, I don't know if we lost audio. Hey, it's a trial
oh,
run, you know?
yeah. Nah, I can hear you.
So was what were you saying back to the Panthers?
I was just saying, I feel like they might be uh, a little farther away than like you're making it seem. But I mean, you're right. They did draft Bryce Young, and they got to have some cornerstone players. Brian Burns is probably one of them.
Yeah. And
That
that
edge rusher and the quarterback are probably the two guys, that you build up around.
yeah, I maybe some other guys be shipped, but I just think he doesn't go anywhere, which earlier in the season, wasn't I telling you about Brian Burns? Like the 49ers were looking at him like, which would be insane for the 49ers to even do at this point. But it's just, I kind of thought about it. I'm like, if you're really building around Bryce Young, you're going to want to show him that you still believe in you're keeping certain guys around.
I'm sure they were looking at him though, because they went and got Randy Gregory. They were in the market for someone for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking
Um,
of that, did you see
yeah.
Charles Amenu got 2 sacks? Dude,
Yeah.
what's up with all these Niners D linemen?
He came to us, um, and he wasn't doing that good when like before he came to us, and then he was on the Niners team, and now he's fucking balling with the Chiefs. Served
Yeah.
his little suspension and now been balling.
Yeah. Yeah. First game back, probably, huh?
Yeah. Um, Another guy you brought up, I had him on mine is Pat Surtain. Um, it's just an interesting name to look for because he's one of those elite corners, right? Um, so with the team doing that bad, and they've already said everyone's available besides Russell
Yeah.
Wilson.
Oh, so that's real. That's legit.
Yeah, well, I believe that's legit. I'm pretty sure Adam Scheffner and all those guys have reported that. Um,
Mm,
so with that being said, Pat Surtain is just someone to look after because he's a team's gonna need that. Regardless how good you think both of your corners are, he's probably an upgrade for 95% of the team's corners at one or two
yeah,
of the slots.
for
So,
sure.
I don't know where he goes per se. I could argue everyone for the 49ers if we want to be all in, right? I could keep doing that, make that case. But I could see the Cowboys going after him with the Diggs injury. I know the guy that stepped in for Diggs hasn't been doing bad, but also their defense hasn't been the best either since Diggs went down. So I could see that
Yeah.
being a landing spot. So we'll see.
All right. Well, you want to get into some of our picks from last week? Talk about that.
Yeah, I'll start off with my dog. My dog was Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had 13 receptions for 102 yards, but no TDs. Um, I'm still gonna consider that dog worthy. 13 catches is kind of insane. On
Yeah, that's a big performance. I mean, I'm
his,
sure they're throwing around a lot. I mean,
yeah,
they were down quick by a lot.
yeah, they were down 28-0 at one point. But I mean, to still have 13 receptions, kind of insane in an NFL game. So I'll stamp that
Yeah.
dog on him right now. How'd your dog do?
I'm on a losing streak. I mean, a lot of them have been hurt or something, but Cooper Cup, he didn't do anything. I can't remember his exact stat line, but I just know that Puka went off and had 8 catches for 154 yards. I mean, dude, is there a new wide receiver one in LA?
I know that guy just keeps finding a way to be open.
Dude, and he's making plays too after the catch. I mean, he runs pretty hard, and you see him, he's lowering the shoulder, and he's fighting for yards. So
Yeah.
looking like a beast. I hate to say it,
Yeah. Yeah. Your
but
matchup?
yeah, it was my matchup. Oh, Tua versus Hurts. I think that was a good one. I mean, it was really close on the stat lines. They both threw completed 23 passes. Tua completed 23 to 32. Hurts completed 23 to 31.
Okay.
But Hertz had 279 pass yards. Tua only had 216. And Hertz had one more touchdown and a rushing touchdown.
And the dub.
They and the dub. And they both threw a pick, but Tua threw the pick late in the game when it really counted, and big play Slay made the play.
Yeah.
So I think Hertz won that matchup.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that
Of
one.
course, I mean he got the dub, so
Yeah. Two former college players, you know.
yeah.
So
Two teammates.
two teammates. That's what I meant to say. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, that was a good matchup. My matchup, honestly, it was that coach matchup, Todd Bowles, Arthur Smith. I said the teams are pretty equal talent wise, and the Falcons got the dub. So I'm gonna name Arthur Smith the winner of this matchup. But
Hmm.
he sure did not win the hearts of many fantasy owners with that
No,
Bijan Robinson situation. Um,
dude, I know people are not happy.
I don't know how I feel about it honestly because like headaches do come out of nowhere, and if he truly like if it was a migraine, like thankfully I've never had migraines, so I don't know how that feels, but like he was a healthy participant. You could roll a guy out right before the game if you need to, and he never did. And the fantasy owner started him, and just it kind of sucked. But hey, it is what it
Damn,
is.
they never ruled him out.
No, he was on the sidelines the whole time, helmet ready to go, and just didn't play.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yep. How'd your games go?
My game was one of my matchups too. It was Miami versus Philly.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it was a good game to watch. had to watch it all by myself, you know. Got stood up by all the homies. I was watching
Bro,
at Applebee's.
bro,
Thanks for the three dollaritas.
let's dive into this real quick. So Josh sends a text, guys, in our friend group chat. And I'm gonna call out all the homies right now. I replied right away, "Hey, I'm not gonna be able to make it." If you guys don't know, I don't live close like as close to them anymore. Um, so I was already doing something over where I live, and I was straight up with Josh. I didn't give him like false hope or anything. And the other guys text him, "Oh yeah, I'll go after so and so, so and so, so and so." Giving Josh some hope. He's like, "I'm gonna go get a table." Josh goes gets a table, is dollar margaritas or however you say it, and Josh texts me like at halftime, bro.
Yeah, I think it was the whole first half.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
bro, no one showed up, and honestly, that hit my heart. And I was next to my girl Karina, and I told her, I'm like, man, I feel so bad for him right now. Like got a little
nah,
teary eyed.
bro. You don't even know. Like the worst part was when I asked for my table, right? The lady goes, "Do you want to just sit at the bar?" And I was like, "No, can I get a table?" And she's like, "For one?" And I was like, "No, for like four people or so." She's like, okay." And then like she just kept walking past me, dude. She never came back to help me. And she just like I went to the bathroom and I put the coaster over my cup. She cleaned up all my stuff. She probably thought I freaking got stood up or something and walked out.
Oh, bro, this is making my heart hurt even more.
Oh man,
Damn,
it was
I'm
funny.
glad I
It's
sent you
okay
the
though.
$3. I hope you enjoyed it.
I
Um,
did. I did.
but man, it was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was fun to watch. I mean, those both, I mean, Tyreek Hill went off 11 for 88. He didn't go off, but he had another game, 11 for 88 yards and a touchdown. And Waddle had 6 for 63.
Yeah.
But AJ Brown, dude, 10 for 137 and a touchdown. He's been going crazy.
You know, that trade to this day still fucking, how did no other team offer that to get AJ Brown? You know, it's like
Yeah.
that was an insane trade, and hey, kudos to the Eagles front office for pulling that one off.
Yeah, that shit is definitely haunting the Titans right now.
Yeah. My one of my games was Cardinals Seahawks. Um, it was a divisional, game. It was gritty, but the Cardinals offense was lackluster and they just couldn't handle the Seahawks defense. They couldn't produce on them. So, I mean, the Seahawks got the dub in this one. Not much more to talk about, honestly. It wasn't like that exciting game like the Eagles and Dolphins.
Yeah, it wasn't the best game.
No.
But that's it. That's like, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen with the mic.
It's gonna
Damn it.
fall. My last game was Lions Ravens, and we kind of already talked about it a little bit because you brought up the Lamar and to start the show. So don't want to get too far into that. I mean, just Ravens flat out just controlled that game.
Yeah,
And Lamar's
dominated.
stat line was 21 for 27, 357, three TDs. Just insane. And I'm cool with that, leaving it at that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was pure domination. That was insane. I was not expecting that at all. You know, we've
No.
been riding for the Lions.
Yeah. And we'll still ride for the Lions.
Yeah, that was a rough one, but the Ravens are a good team, and they were
Yeah.
clicking on all cylinders, dude. That they have a good defense, and I mean their offense is clicking. Lamar Jackson, he's been slinging it, but his guys are catching the ball this week.
Yeah. You got one more game or did we touch your games?
Yeah, it's KC versus LAC, the Chargers, and both my games ended 31-17. But
Man, the Chargers
Mahomes,
just don't know how to win.
yeah, they're I don't know what's going on. They have all the talent, all the names, like they're paying all the money.
Yeah.
It's just so it does not make sense, dude. Like we've talked about it before, but we'll talk about it again. Like, how are they not winning these games? I know it's the Chiefs, but I
I
mean,
think
they,
I think because
they
they
got to win some of
associated
those games.
yeah, I think because they associated themselves with the Angels and they're kind of like their football team, like how some cities pair up. probably gave them the curse, you
I
know?
didn't even know that. Yeah,
But
probably. But I mean, Mahomes, you can't help it when Mahomes throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Mahomes is going to be Mahomes. It's just insane what he could do with the football in his hands. And if there's one quarterback I never have fear that's going to produce, it's him. And, he'll find a way no matter who's out on the field with him, who's
Yeah,
in the
dude, that's what I was
stands.
gonna say, bro. There was 10 guys that caught a pass from Mahomes and 12 guys carried the football for it. I mean, that's what you call spreading the ball, and that's what wins you football games, dude, on the offensive side. When
Yeah.
everyone gets the touch, I mean, you had Travis Kelce. Yeah, he got the bulk of it. He had 12 for 179 yards, but he's Travis Kelce. That's gonna happen. But then you
Yeah.
got Valdez Scantling, 3 catches. Rashid Rice, 5 catches. Pacheco, 4 catches. McKinnon, two. Sky Moore, two. And then a bunch more guys with 1 catch. And I mean, they all had some decent yards on the day. And
Yeah.
a big game all around for the Chiefs. Everyone was talking about they don't have the weapons, they don't have this, but I mean, there was a bunch of guys. We just said 10 guys caught a pass. So
Yeah. Hey, Mahomes is insane. I mean, there's nothing more to put about it. And the Chiefs are looking like a Super Bowl caliber team for sure. I would say the front runners out of the AFC right now.
yeah, they have to be. Yeah, and they're
Um,
6-1. They only lost to the Lions, huh?
yep. You ready to get into our team? Bang bang Niner gang?
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, you guys are probably already commenting like y'all lost 2 times in a row and now this one to the Vikings. The Vikings, like, guys, we're frustrated, but
We
I'm not
lost to
losing
Kirk
hope.
on prime time.
He doesn't win on prime time. That's the thing. He
Bro.
balled.
Yeah, dude, he picked us apart. I mean, it looks similar to like I said when we were talking during the game, it looks similar to Stafford, and he was just picking us apart earlier in the season, just getting the ball
Yeah.
out quick. And yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. So this game started off great for our 49ers defense. We started the game off with a turnover, give the ball to our offense in great field position. And I'm like, damn, this is gonna be lit. I even texted
I
you
know.
LFG and I was like, we're gonna go score, we're gonna put 7 up on them real quick. Led to a CMC fumble, and then they got 7 points. Um, question marks all over for me in my head. Um, we were so dominant the first 5 games, and now like I'm seeing some of our flaws. And I want to ask you this, and I haven't gotten your opinion, but question mark on defense. Past 2 games, even the including that Rams game, I know we won, but seems like the quarterbacks are finding all the soft zones. They're making the right reads, completing those passes. Do you like what we're dialing up on defense? Like from a coaching standpoint, what needs to change?
I mean, I don't know. You see Bosa talking about it. You see Shanahan talking about, we'll talk about that in the meetings later in the week or whatever. And I mean, it's a big talk right now.
Yeah.
Bosa said it's not what we're used to running, and it's
Mm-hmm.
different. I mean, more blitzes, and it's just a little different. But I mean, we were 5-0, and I guess people were still talking, and they weren't the cleanest wins that we wanted, even though we were putting up 30 points and everything, like, and we were winning by a decent amount every time. Like,
Yeah.
we would say they weren't the cleanest games, and the scoreboard didn't always tell the full story.
Yeah. Agreed.
But I don't know, man. It's new, man. It's new defense. It's new guy.
Yeah. I think honestly, like what I wrote on my notes is that maybe we do kind of revert back to only bringing 4 to be able to drop back a little bit more help. It seems the past 2 games we've gotten destroyed in the passing game.
Yeah,
I
and they're
know.
just getting it out quick. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes though they have time, which is just crazy. Their D line.
Yeah. I think maybe if we go back to the 4-man pressure, um, it just allows a little bit more coverage in the back end. But again, our guys got to produce when whatever's called. If we're sending 6, we better be getting the quarterback against 5, and that wasn't
Yeah.
happening. And it's not like it's not character of our defense. Fred's still playing out of his mind, but
Dude. And
we got to have everyone play.
Greenlaw, okay, Greenlaw. Let's look at some bright sides. Greenlaw played out of his mind. He was a little hurt. You could tell he was hurt
Hmm.
because he's one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL,
Yeah,
and he was getting beat to the flats quite a few times in the beginning. You saw he went out, but then dude went. He was hitting everyone. He was just
yeah,
leaving his body out there all night long, dude. And, I mean, he's
yeah,
always playing like that. He's always out for blood, but you could tell he was definitely hurt and not as fast as he would have liked, but he was out there hitting.
yeah. I completely agree with that. I mean, Greenlaw is definitely a top 10 linebacker in the game. You could even argue maybe even higher. Um,
Yeah,
he's
such a
just
dog.
insane, but man, we got to tighten up something on defense. Like
Yeah, for
what
sure.
whatever the changes call wise, I like to see making adjustments. We got to make an adjustment, especially facing this Bengals offense coming up. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Still have a couple things on this 49ers Vikings game. I'm sure you do too. Um,
Yeah, what you
CMC,
got?
CMC still shine. Like I know that fumble we talked about, we brought that up, but the guy still goes and scores two touchdowns, extends that touchdown streak. Like he's just insane, and we're feeding him, and it's working out. Um, but we got to keep the ball moving around. And I thought we did a good job of that in the first half. But the second half, it seemed like we were going to the same two guys. Brock was kind of making some decisions before the play was even there. And it hurt him late in the game to Jawan. Um, he thought
Yeah,
Jawan was going to be able to beat that. And whether the ball sailed or not a little bit, it just, you know, you got to roll with the punches on that, though, I guess,
yeah,
because we live and die by it. I mean, he's been completing it right, but maybe that's just the I'm pulling the bad out of it since it was a loss. I could be saying the exact opposite on a couple other passes. So I don't know.
yeah. It was definitely a tough loss, dude. That throw. I mean, you could say Jennings went outside a little bit, and I think maybe Purdy thought Jennings was just going to cut straight in and get in quick to that, middle of the field, but could have
Yeah.
been a miscommunication or whatever. It was tough to see that. Two interceptions for Purdy. You know the haters are coming for him.
Oh yeah, he's already dropped. I mean, Stephen A was like all about the 49ers and now he doesn't know if he could trust Brock. I mean, he's a young player. He's gonna have learning curves and I mean,
Yeah.
rather have this now than in a playoff game. Like let's learn from this and hopefully hopefully we're not down in a game, right? I mean, we always want to be winning.
Mm,
But later in the season, we're gonna be down and we're gonna have to put that 2 minute drive together and come back and he's gonna learn
yeah.
that, be a little more
Like,
selective and take care of the ball.
yeah. And I mean, it's good that, like, or not good, but it's like everything went wrong for us. We played sloppy, had a lot of flags, and it's like we still had a chance to go down and win it. So it's like we're just barely losing these games where everything is going right for the other team and everything like that touchdown right before the
Yeah.
half. Come on, that's a
The
pick.
Vi-
Like,
the Vikings haven't played this well this
yeah.
whole season,
So if you had to look on, one of the bright sides, like everything's going wrong, and we still have a chance to win these both games that we just lost.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah,
And I don't want to really overreact. We bring up
yeah,
some
for
points
sure.
and I don't think we're overreacting. We're just breaking down.
Yeah,
Um, you want
sure.
to
I'm
get
not
in the next
overreacting.
game?
I was just looking at the stats. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, our defense was on the field a lot, but fucking Greenlaw had 8 solo tackles. God damn, he was flying around.
Yeah. Are you ready to get into next week?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's take a deep breath. All right, it's a new week. Let's go. 24 hours is up and we're ready to roll. Hey, we're hosting the Bengals. It's a 125 game. So midday game for us. I think that's like what 4 o'clock or not. It's 125 on our end. I don't know what it is on the East Coast, but
Mm,
um we're hosting the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals they started off slow. We talked about their slow struggle, but they're heating up. They're coming off
yeah,
two dubs against two NFC West opponents. They beat the Cardinals 2 weeks ago and then just beat the Seahawks. Or sorry, Seahawks, Cardinals, and then were they on a bye? Am I tripping right now? But yeah,
Sorry, I just had a technical difficulty on it. You didn't
you're
hear
good.
that
You're
right
good.
now?
No.
Oh, okay. We're good. Keep going.
Yeah, so they're hot, and I think this is gonna be a great test for our defense. We're talking about the adjustments that need to be made. They're gonna try to beat us over the top, especially with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Um, I think we'll handle their rush game. So they're gonna have to beat us with the pass game. And
Yeah.
I think with the right adjustments, the right calls, we'll be just fine. We match up very well against their offense. Um, and the key is to not let Joey B get in a rhythm.
Yeah, our DBs and our linebackers just have to play fast and physical this week, dude. They've got some guys on the outside. All three of their receivers can go catch the ball and tight end
Yeah.
too. I mean, Joe Mixon out of the backfield catching passes or running the ball is a threat too. So our linebackers and our DBs are going to have to play fast and physical. And I mean, as we know, our D line is going to have to get some pressure on Joey B.
Yeah, I want Nick Bosa to hug his old former teammate, give him a
Yeah,
little
just give
love
him a
tap to the
hug.
ground.
Show him how bad you want him to give him a hug. Get to him.
Yeah.
Bunch of
Give him
times. Just keep hugging him, dude.
give him those bear hugs. Um But we just got news today before we recorded. Brock is in concussion protocol. Dating back to last year, there hasn't been a player that has cleared that within that week time frame to get back for the game. I don't know how severe it is. Kyle Shannon reported that on the plane ride home that he was getting some of those feelings. So will he make it in time for the game? I don't know. Let's just be cautious and say Sam Darnold starting. What you think about
Yeah.
that?
So do you know what's going on with Trent Williams? Have you heard about anything? Is
Uh
he playing? Is he waiting until after we get back from the bye?
he's listed as questionable, which is different than his doubtful from last week.
Hmm.
So in a way, I guess that's better. I don't know if they don't list doubtful till the end of the week. Honestly, I don't know how that works for injury report. But he's
Hmm.
questionable. Debo Samuel's for sure out. And other than that, I didn't see anyone else on the injury report that
Yeah, well
I
then I mean I'm gonna say even with Trent Williams out, or even more so with Trent Williams out, our O line is gonna have to step up big time and play how they were playing the first 5 games when they're making holes and allowing CMC to get going. That's what we need this game. Our past 2 losses, what has not happened, CMC is, yeah, he's had the 2 touchdowns and or he's had a touchdown like every game for like a whole season down near. But he hasn't been getting going as like he was in the first 5 games, like on the ground. So our O
yeah.
line needs to step it up and needs to create some room for CMC to get going.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we got to jump out to an early lead. I think any team in the NFL plays better from ahead. Give our
Yeah,
defense a little more cushion, and that's all. That's gonna start with CMC. Give let's pound the ball first, make them respect
pound
the
the
run
rock.
game, and then we'll beat them over the top eventually. But
Yeah.
first and
I don't
foremost,
I don't think
let's
they
start on
have
the
the
ground.
guys to I don't think they have the guys to guard uh Kittle, Ayuk, JJ, even without
Yeah,
Debo. I don't think they have the guys to guard our guys, and our O line just has to step up and get CMC going, so then those guys will be open.
yeah, I agree. Um, I'm looking at my notes real quick, and I wrote this, and I kind of it's kind of like a like no shit kind of saying, but I think our offense needs to do the things that they're good at and do them great this week. Um, be perfect at the things we know what to be perfect at. I think that will be huge to piggyback off that quick start and kind of just have that flow of the game. I don't want to be playing from behind this game. I don't I'm not saying we need to be in a 3 touchdown score lead. I mean, that would be awesome, but we've been playing from behind the past 2 weeks and hasn't worked out in our favor.
Yeah, let's get out in front early for sure.
Yeah. Um, do you want to jump ahead to the rest of the NFL and talk about that?
Yes, sir. Let's get into it. I'm gonna go first. I think you've been saying your dogs first, and that's why you've been hitting. So this week it's my turn to hit, and my dog of the week, with Tyreek Hill being questionable, I got
Okay.
Jalen Waddle having a big game. Obviously, even if Hill plays, he's still gonna be probably not at 100%.
Hmm.
So they're gonna be looking to Waddle, and we know, like I said last year, over and over again. They're one of the top duos, if not the top receiving duo in the league. And so you can count on Waddle to have a big game and have a Tyreek type stat line this weekend.
Okay. Um,
Big, big game, big
you
game.
said Tyreek stat line. What's that looking like then?
That's looking like double digit catches, 140 plus,
Okay.
a touchdown, at least one touchdown, maybe two. He's gonna get loose, dude. He's fast. They got some speedsters over there. We've talked about it before.
They're gonna give the Patriots defense a run for their money. I know they're coming off an
Yeah.
awesome victory against the Bills, but it's kind of like those last year, when every team played us, they followed with a loss because how hard fought that loss was or how hard that game was. I think it's gonna be the same thing for the Patriots this week. They're gonna be banged up, and the Dolphins are gonna come hit them in the mouth coming off this bad tasting loss. And Waddle's gonna be a huge part of that.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I think he's gonna have a big game. And they just don't have the guys to lock him down. I mean, we've seen a lot of receivers have big games against their DBs lately. And they got
Yeah.
JC Jackson back, and I mean, we're not even gonna talk about that.
Yeah. My dog of the week, and since I'm going second, I'm gonna break the second person curse. Matthew Stafford is gonna be my dog of the week. He's facing the
He's
Cowboys.
going against the sorry team. Oh no, sorry. They're a good team. They're a good team.
Chandler's all biting his mouth right now, trying to punch you. Yeah, I'm going Matthew Stafford. They're playing the Cowboys. Um, I think he's gonna have a great game against this Cowboys defense. More so, some crazy stats: 4 touchdowns, 300 plus yards. He's gonna light the scoreboard up, and Puka Nakua is gonna be a huge part of that. Hopefully, Cooper Cup gets back going in a sense for the Rams, but just just
I
kind of
mean,
control
400
this game.
yards. He's gonna have to spread the ball around.
300, 300.
Oh no, you said 400.
Oh, sorry, I wrote 300. I was probably reading the four TDs and put the four. You
Oh,
know,
maybe you said 304 TDs. Maybe that's what you said.
Yeah. So I that's gonna be my dog. My matchup, on the other hand, is about a couple quarterbacks. My matchup, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. I think this is such a
Oh,
cool matchup for many
yeah,
reasons. The one being that these guys have been playing against each other since they were young boys. They played each other in their youth football, grew up nearby cities. They played each other in high school. They played each other in college at two big schools, and now it's gonna be
yeah,
their first time lining up against each other in the NFL. Like, what a cool
yep,
story to have.
yeah. In their rookie season too. That's cool. I mean, it's
Yeah,
pretty dope to see that they're getting to play each other and they're both lining up against each other at the highest level. And who would have? I'm sure they didn't. Maybe they did. Maybe they were expecting it when they were little kids. I'm sure they were balling.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't even know who to pick as a winner for this one. I honestly just want to look at the score after the game and it'd be like 50-49. Like, just let the quarterbacks have fun this game and shoot fireworks, whatever, and throw
Yeah,
all the touchdown passes to Adam Thielen. I'll be cool with that.
that would be dope. But I'm just gonna be honest with you. D'Amico Ryan is gonna dial it up this weekend. It ain't gonna be too good for Bryce Young.
You're probably right on that one. I mean,
Yeah.
but let's just hope 50-50-49.
Yeah, I hope so though. I hope it's gonna be a little shootout. I hope they both have the best games of their career so far. That'll be dope to see.
Yeah. What's your matchup?
My matchup is gonna be going back to the Niners game. Mooney Ward, Travarius Ward versus Jamar Chase. It's the infamous matchup when Ward was back on the Chiefs and Ward had the pass deflection or pass breakup, and then he hit the gritty, and then Jamar Chase went off. I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns after that. He hit the gritty back, and I mean, obviously he came back and won that matchup. It's so hard for DBs. They can do their
Yeah,
thing all game and have like a few. Okay, but Jamar Chase went off that game. It's not one of those games, but they could let up one touchdown and be locking up all game, and the receiver's gonna be talking shit. But
yeah. Great matchup though.
great matchup. I think both of them are excited to go at it. Mooney's going to be looking to bounce back. He had a lot of penalties. He had the pick last week, but then he had the touchdown that he gave up and kind of sloppy. And he's going to be looking to bounce back against a big matchup. People are talking about it. There's going to be the posts of him grittying and then getting grittied on. So
Yeah, I like that.
I think it's gonna be fireworks. I think we need Mooney for lockdown this week if we want to get this dub going into the bye.
Okay, okay. We like to pick two games. If you guys are your first time listeners, we like to pick two games each. I'll shoot my games real quick. I'm gonna shoot them both. I'll be quick about it. I got Seahawks. I think this is gonna be a great game. More so because it's kind of a telltale game. They're both 4-2, and the Seahawks are hoping to make a playoff push. The Browns are hoping to make a playoff push. Their coach is starting PJ Walker, which is cool. I mean, it's kind of crazy to say Deshaun Watson, one of the highest paid quarterbacks, got in a sense benched. I know he's not fully healthy, but he's healthy enough to have a
Wait,
uniform on. So,
he
uh,
got benched?
yeah, I mean, he's not ruled out due to injury. He's PJ Walker's
Mm,
just named the
he's
starter.
questionable.
So yeah, PJ Walker starting. I think this will just be a good indicator for the rest of the season. And then I have the Jags Steelers, which is going to be another great indicator for playoffs, huge playoff implications, for the AFC, who wants to have the higher seed. Both are looking like they're en route to make the playoffs right now. I know the Steelers are a little iffy more than the Jags per se, but just I think huge implications for both of those games down the line.
Yeah, for sure. Those are two big games. The Browns Seahawks one's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
What about your games?
And which one you said, Jags Steelers?
Yeah, Jag Steelers.
Yeah, for sure. My games are going to be Rams at Dallas. I mean, obviously that's a big game. LA versus the Cowgirls, the America's team. Rams are they're looking a lot better than I think probably even they expected.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas is, falling off a little bit. The hype is dying down from those first few games when they were just exploding and shutting out a team and just dominating. I got the Rams taking it in this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Puka and Cup are gonna be too much, like you said, Matthew Stafford, and I just think they're gonna be too much. And my other game of the week is gonna be the Battle of New York Jets at the New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both teams, uh, especially the Jets, had big high hopes, big
Yeah.
real high hopes, and they're not looking as good as they wanted to be. Jets are actually, since Aaron Rodgers went out, doing better than they probably thought, though.
Yeah, and I think this is gonna be a huge game for them. They're trying to keep those playoff hopes alive.
Yeah.
With Aaron Rodgers aiming a comeback this season, which is insane. But they got to get this dub against a struggling Giants team. I know they're coming off a victory, but the Giants aren't the same Giants from last year, and it'll be crucial for the Jets to get this dub.
Yeah, they need to get it, especially uh, playing the Giants.
Yeah.
Do they
Um,
have a rivalry? I don't really know. Is there a rivalry there? There's got to be, right?
there's got to be. They share the same stadium. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure there is, but both
Hmm.
Jets have been bad for so long in our lifetime. I don't know.
Yeah. True.
Um, you ready to jump to other football outside the NFL?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get to it.
All right, other football outside the NFL. I'm gonna spring this one on you because I didn't even put this in my notes. We have our alma mater facing the city rival La Habra Highlanders. So you got Sonora Raiders versus La Habra Highlanders. It's a
Mm.
matchup we couldn't win during our time in football, which is hey, it's all right. I mean, I'm not
There's
gonna
there hasn't been many from our side that have won.
no.
It's not
I
it's
think
not the biggest rivalry, the best rivalry.
no. I think you got to go back to early 2000s for a Sonora dub. which this year, I'll put what's out there. Sonora's 4-0 in league. La Habra's 4 and or no, yeah, 4-0,
Three and
right?
one. 3-1.
Okay. 3-1 for La Habra. Sonora's 4-0. If Sonora wins this, they're sole league champs. And if La Habra
And
wins,
city champs,
and
baby.
city champs, something we haven't done. If La Habra wins, they're co-league champs with two other people, and
Yeah.
it's just it's a cool game to look at, and I want you to kind of break it down a little bit more.
I mean, I don't know too much about La Habra, but I can't really say what they need to do. I just know that Sonora's got some dogs, and they need to get that run game going. They've got a really good running back, and they just need to feed him. And I mean, I'm not too sure about the La Habra over there, so I don't know how they're looking, what's really going on. But I mean, Sonora's whole like motto and their whole thing kind of similar to the Niners when they're saying, it's all about us. It's all their thing is it's our way. Like we do things our way. So they just got to do things their way and go out there and do what nobody's probably thinking they're doing. I know they probably got some hype this year though. Maybe people are kind of thinking it, but
Yeah.
do what no one's done in a long time.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. We'll be in attendance. So it'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited.
Um, Other than that, football wise, I kind of want to jump over a different sport completely.
Yeah,
Um,
nothing happened. There wasn't even any college football on last weekend,
yeah,
so
USC definitely didn't lose again. Notre Dame was on a bye, so I mean, I'm ready to jump to baseball. You got the World Series. I'm wearing my World Series shirt from 2002 because that's the last time the Angels were in it. Um, Man, you got Arizona Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers. I think such a cool matchup, honestly, because the Diamondbacks are so young, and the Rangers, I mean, they knew they were going to be somewhat good this year. I don't know if like outside the clubhouse that people thought they were going to make it to the World Series. So they've just been dominant in the playoffs, especially on the road. This is going to be a good matchup. Who's your favorite to win the World Series?
my favorite, and I really don't pay attention to baseball, but because my favorite is the Texas Rangers because the fucking Diamondbacks knocked out the Dodgers. So let's go Rangers. Get it done, man. It
Okay.
would
Yeah.
honestly though, if the Diamondbacks won it all, then we're like, oh, we lost to the team that won the World Series.
Yeah.
So I don't care, dude. Honestly, they could tie for all I care.
Okay. I have the Rangers, and I have the Rangers in six with Corey Seager being named the World Series MVP. He's been there, done that,
Damn.
and he's gonna have 4 homers in this series and just kind of play out of his mind. And the Rangers are gonna be the world champs.
Has he been lighting it up these playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, he's being Corey Seager, consistent.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let's go to the NBA now. The NBA started last night. Both of
hmm
our teams didn't start off with a dub. We both had the opening games, but that's all right because I don't know if you look back, the Nuggets last year, their first game, hey, they lost and they are world champs. So I guess we're right in line for that.
Yeah, and I mean it's not like either of our teams, the Warriors or the Lakers, played some scrubs. We played the Warriors played the Suns, and the Lakers played the world champs, the defending champs.
Yeah,
And, I mean the Lakers were losing by a lot for most of the game, but here and there they would come back, bring it within 10, bring it within 7. I don't know what the closest they ever got was, but yeah, they just couldn't pull it out. They couldn't pull out the dub. But
yeah,
it's a game one, lot of games, a lot of games.
yeah,
And I mean, we got a deep bench, dude, so I'm not worried about it as the season goes on.
yeah. I'm not worried either. It's just one game. Well, we have
Yeah,
81 more to go, or
so
80
many
more to
more
go.
games. Yeah,
So, um, you want to talk that UFC card?
dude, that card was crazy. It was so fast, dude. It ended in like 2 hours.
It had been one of the fastest cards in recent history
Yeah.
for sure.
There were so many first round finishes. I mean, they were all finishes. None of them. Wait. Kamza and Usman went the distance, but
Yeah,
most of them got finished. Or I mean, that one fight, Johnny Walker versus I can't remember his name, but the light heavyweight fight. I mean, that was crazy. They waved it off. The doctor waved it off very quick at that. But I mean, they did
I
say that like he wasn't responding right. And I mean, you see, even when they waved it off, he like like he goes to like fight still, and they're like, what is going on? So maybe he was like maybe the doctor could see something or hear something that we didn't, you know?
I don't know. That one, Johnny Walker, like they asked him after. They came out with what they asked him. He asked him, "Where are you?" He said in the desert. Was he wrong?
Okay,
Like
but like why would you not say Abu
I
Dhabi, Dubai? Like you don't know
I
where you're fighting,
guess
dude?
I guess that's kind of his personality. Based off the interviews after it, they're like if you don't know him, like he jokes around a lot, like
That's
and like
not, come on, bro. They're testing him for like head stuff, you know, like concussion or whatever.
yeah, I know. I was pissed that they called off the fight, but hey, I mean,
It was very quick, so I mean it's you're right, like it's hard to even tell like that quick.
yeah,
Like he didn't really give him much of a shot. But you see, like even after he called it, like they clearly waved it off and like Johnny Walker was looking right at the doctor and then like he goes and like gets in his stance like he's about to fight again. So I don't know.
yeah, that was kind of
Maybe he
gnarly.
wasn't in the best maybe he wasn't in the best shape. But
Um,
I mean, dude, the co-main and the main event, Usman, oh man, dog. I mean, both of those guys, they're Kamza has fought at that weight before. He's fought at middleweight, but he's a
uh
welterweight truly. And so
yeah,
and Usman was one of the greatest welterweights of all time. But they both moved up to middleweight. They're trying to move up. I think everyone's saying it. If Usman had a couple more rounds, I think he turns it up and he wins that fight because he was putting his hands on him at the end of that last or the third round. He was
hmm
cracking Kamza. But dude, Kamza said that mountain wrestling beats American wrestling, and uh, Usman has only ever been taken down one time before that in his career, and he got
hmm
taken down. Oh, I want to say 4 or 5 times, and he defended it a lot. Kamzat was shooting a lot, but when Kamzat took him down, he was controlling him, and he was doing exactly what he wanted. So he
yeah,
was right.
yep. And then the main card,
The main card, dude.
bro. I know we both picked and we weren't right, but man, it was a good fight, especially on short notice of a fight. Like to do that. I mean, you're still a dog for that, but that kick to end it, damn.
That sucked, dude. That really sucked to see. I wanted it to be a dog fight. I wanted them to, honestly, I didn't even care. Like, I kind of wanted them to go to the distance and just see another war and
Yeah,
see who won. But, man, it sucks when you lose like that. Volk said it in all the pre-fight stuff. He was going for the win. He was going for the kill, the finish. He wanted it early. And sometimes when you do that, when you want to get shots, sometimes you have to take shots,
yeah,
or I
you
mean,
leave yourself
sometimes you
wide
just
open
leave it open.
sometimes.
Yeah, you leave it open, and that's what happened. He got kicked in the face by one of the best pound for
Mm-hmm.
pound fighters in the world right now, and yeah, that's what happens.
Yep,
But
man,
Volk had not been finished in 10 years or something like. I think it was 10 years.
that's
Has
crazy.
been a dog, and I mean, he'll bounce back.
Yeah.
He's still the
Um,
champ.
I got something for you, real quick, before we call it a show. I just want to go back to you getting stood up a little bit. Jason, Chandler, Lulu, Jose, you showed up, but Jason, Chandler, Lulu, y'all suck for that. All right. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, bro.
All right, let's call this one a wrap. And you guys will be seeing this pretty soon. Thank you guys for watching. That stayed all the way through. And I mean, next week we'll probably be back in the studio. But thank you.
Thanks, guys. Doses.
Deuces.
Two hearts,